Thank you, Mississippi. It is great to be here. Great victories in Mississippi. We really did. We had great victories in Mississippi, as you know very well. They weren't even close. By the way, tomorrow, if you don't mind, make it not even close to Cindy. Well, I am thrilled to be back in Tupelo. I love Tupelo. Home of thousands of hardworking American patriots and the proud birthplace of the king of rock and roll, Elvis. Elvis! We love Elvis. I shouldn't say this. You'll say I'm very conceited because I'm not. But other than the blonde hair, when I was growing up, they said I looked like Elvis. You see that? Could you believe it? I always consider that a great compliment. We love Elvis, don't we? In fact, we just gave Elvis the Medal of Freedom Award at the White House. Tomorrow, the voters of this state will cast their ballots on one of the most important Senate elections of your lives, of all of our lives. It's very important because we've done great, and now we're going to do even a little bit better by adding an extra vote on. And as you know, the fake news back there didn't like to talk too much about the Senate. They didn't like to talk too much about the Senate. They talked about the House, where I couldn't campaign too much. How many of these can I do? We worked on the senators, and it looks like if we win tomorrow, Cindy is so important, so respected, we got to send her back. But if we win tomorrow, we'll be at 53-47, which is substantially more than we have. But they don't like to talk about the new great governor of Georgia that we got in. Remember, President Obama went there, Michelle went there, Oprah went there. They all went there. And then Trump went there all by himself, and we won. Isn't that something? And the great new governor of Ohio, and the governor of Florida, and the senator from Florida, and a lot of things we won that a lot of people aren't talking about. Tennessee, right? Missouri, that was a good one. They said you couldn't get Claire out of there. We got her out of there. We got her out of there. They don't want to talk about any of that. And actually, for the House people that we did work for, if you look, we went to Kentucky. Great guy, Andy Barr, we got him in, and a lot of great races. We really did a good job. But I can only make so many stops, and today I'm making 3 of them in Mississippi. You believe it? But you know what, Tupelo? You're the first one, okay? Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, because we'll get in trouble. But you're the first one. So I appreciate you all being. This is a big crowd. I wish the press was a little bit back further. Look what's back there. Media, look all behind you. Media. Hello, folks. My guys could have set it up a little bit better. You know, honestly, they do have these great cameras with the magnifying on them. I mean, if they were back a little further, we would have had all the people over here instead of back in the corners. Can you remember that next time, folks? Maybe, my people. My people. Sometimes my people let me down. That happens a little bit, you know. But for the most part, I'll tell you what, we are doing great. This election's about jobs and judges, borders, and protecting the blessings of freedom and prosperity for our children. That's what it's about. It's about getting a great new senator. That's also what it's about. She's been there for a little while, and in that little while, everybody really respects her, really likes her, and she loves you. That I can tell you. She really does. Special woman. It's about preserving a strong military, a safe community, and a soaring economy. We're doing great. I'm here to ask the people of Mississippi to send Cindy Hyde-Smith back to the United States Senate so we can make America great again. We can make it great for all Americans. It's all Americans. Your vote on Tuesday will decide whether we build on our extraordinary achievements or whether we empower the radical Democrats to obstruct our progress, reverse our gains, and return to the failures of the past. For years, you watched as powerful forces in Washington shipped away your jobs. You saw that. You saw that. That's changing. You see what's coming in. So many companies coming in to Mississippi and every place else, by the way. They sacrifice your security. And you notice our border. Hey, by the way, excuse me. Are we doing okay on the border, folks? Not going to have it. You got to come into our country legally. You're right. You're right. And we had a lot of it built and it's going up. But I'll tell you the rest of it, you saw that's pretty nasty looking wire, isn't it, huh? Pretty nasty. But we're doing well. We're not letting people into our country unless they come in legally, and we want people to come in through merit. We have great companies coming into our country. We need workers. We want them to come in, but they have to be talented people that can love our country. They have to come in through merit. Through merit, not through lottery, not where we pick them out of a basket, right? Where the government puts them in. You think the government's putting their finest in there? I don't know. History would say they probably aren't. They're not putting Elvis in there, right? We're not going to find Elvis. Under my administration, we are living by a new policy. It's a very simple 2 words. It's called America First. That's what we're all about now. Republicans have unleashed the greatest economic comeback in American history. It's true. We're doing even better than you would understand. Everybody's negotiating to come back in. And by the way, and we're negotiating great trade deals in the opposite way. Because we have had the worst trade deal and the worst trade deals of any country probably ever. The dumbest deals, the worst, but they're really good now. And they're getting good. And, you know, at the end of the week, I meet with China. I meet with a lot of other countries that have not treated us too well, but we're doing extremely well. Hello back there. Oh, I feel so guilty. You're so far back. They just don't learn. This happened to me in Georgia. The press had such a good site, and the people are so far back there. Is there any way we can let those people come along here? Because if you can, let them. Okay? What do you think? Yes? Yes? I wish the media would show this crowd. They never do. Look over there. Look, it's incredible. I wish the media would show this crowd. Watch. If I say spin the cameras, they'll never spin the cameras. They don't want the people to know how many people are here. They never do, and that's okay. You know what you do? You can tell. You can tell by the sound. Because you can't imitate thousands and thousands of people. What happened? That's right. She just said, the First Lady tells me about the sound. More Americans are working today than ever before in the history of our country. Think of that, today. More Americans are working by a lot. We've created 4.5 million new jobs, and we have lifted 4.3 million Americans off of food stamps. The unemployment rate just hit the lowest level in more than 50 years, and soon we'll break the record, we hope. Here in Mississippi, the unemployment rate has reached its all-time low in history. Thank you. Well, you do have a great governor, you know that. You have a great governor who's here, I think. He better be here, right? Where is he? There, okay, good. Boy, I'm going to introduce you in a couple of. But he is one hell of a governor, and he loves his state. Last month alone, 10 states hit their lowest unemployment rates in the history of our country. Nationwide, African-American unemployment has reached its lowest rate ever recorded. African-American youth unemployment has reached an all-time historic low. The African-American poverty rate has reached the lowest level ever recorded. This is under Republicans, folks. Please remember, the home of Abraham Lincoln, the Republican Party. Under Republican leadership, America is booming, America is thriving, and America is winning again, winning like never before. We're respected again. We're respected again as a nation. On Election Day, we made history by expanding our Senate GOP majority. You never hear that. We have a great, please vote tomorrow. You know, you got an election tomorrow. It's going to be, I think, a very big day for Cindy and for the Republican Party and for the country. Got to get out of Don't take any chances. A lot of people think we're going to have a big win. Don't take any chances. That's happened many times before. Gee, we don't have to vote tomorrow. Right, Phil? We know all about it. We don't have to vote tomorrow. That never works out well when you have that. Just assume you have to vote. You have to get out there or send out your ballots or do whatever you have to do, but just get them done. We cannot allow Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to erode that victory by winning the great state of Mississippi. That's not possible. Is that possible? I don't think so. No, this Senate seat is for a very, very special woman who's going to do a special job, and she votes for us, and she votes for Make America Great Again, and she votes for America First. The platform of today's Democrat Party is radical socialism and open borders. I don't think we like open borders. You know, when you look at the news at night and you see what's happening at the border, and, you know, for many years, this has been flowing in. Now, people are coming up here because our economy is doing great and all, but for many years, this is what's been happening. They just came right through. But they're not coming through anymore. Unless they come through legally. If you want more jobs and less crime, then you have to vote Republican. We are honored to be joined today by several incredible Mississippi Republican leaders, and this one is really a friend of mine for a long time. He just finished the African American Museum, and we went through it a few months ago when it was opening, and he was so proud of it, and just the people, everybody loves this guy. He's a special guy, special man, Governor Phil Bryant. Phil, come here. Come here, Phil. Come here. Come here, Phil. Special man, a congressman, great general, tough guy, always been on our side. You know who I'm talking about? Congressman Trent Kelly. Trent, tough, loves your state. A man who's become very, very, I mean, just incredible. Every time there's difficulty, in his way, that quiet, killer way of his, he always wins. Senator Roger Wicker. Roger, he always wins. And he's a great guy. And I brought a star along. You know, he became an even bigger star during that horrible situation with Brett Kavanaugh. He gave probably 100 words, and they'll go down. I mean, you're going to be playing those words for a long time. And they were very special. They meant a lot because this was a man who, Brett Kavanaugh, was extraordinary, and he was beaten up so badly and so unfairly by the Democrats. But we got through it. There were a lot of lies. A number of people have already recanted their stories. Never happened. You know that, right? Never happened. But this man said some brilliant and beautiful and warm from the heart words that really helped us get a great Supreme Court Justice, Senator Lindsey Graham. He's here. Where is he? Come here. Come here. He's become my friend, actually. He's become my friend. So he can never duplicate what he did. In fact, he'll probably do a lousy job when I say a few words. But you know what? He really did. He did a special job. And he's just a great guy. Lindsey, say a few words.
Are you ready to vote? When Kavanaugh needed your senator, she was there. I want you to remember what they will do on the other side. I want you to show up Tuesday. We're going to start over in 2019. And if you like Kavanaugh, there's more coming. Mr. President, you've done a hell of a job. Keep it up. Let's win tomorrow.
Thank you, Lindsey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lindsey. So we're here tonight to support a truly incredible leader, a tireless champion for all of the people of Mississippi. And if I could, I'd like to have her just come up for a few seconds and say a few words. Then we're going to make a trip. We're going to do 2 other stops. So we're going to have a little fun in Mississippi. You know? I said, I don't need my coat. What do I need a coat? I'm going to Mississippi. I'm glad. What's going on with this weather today here? Huh? What's going on? So I'm going to ask Cindy to come up, and she's great on tax cuts, tough on the border. She loves our military. She loves our vets. And she always supports our tremendous judicial nominees. And I will tell you, Cindy, come on up, Cindy. She stood up to the Democrat smear machine. And she voted yes on Brett Kavanaugh. It's so important. Cindy, please say a few words. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I tell you, it is great to have the President of the United States right here in Mississippi. And what a great crowd he has. What a great crowd you've been. Thank you for coming out. You know, I said early on, this campaign is not about me. It's about you. It's about the people of Mississippi and what you believe in. Lower taxes, less government, less regulations, supporting our veterans, supporting our military, supporting our law enforcement, standing up for pro-life issues. Yes. It is about defending the Second Amendment rights every single day. You know, I think I've given you one big reason that I can ask for your vote tonight, because I've worked very, very hard for you. I have stood up for you, and you know I will continue to stand up for the conservative values of Mississippi. You know, I am honored to have President Trump's endorsement. I'm honored to have Governor Phil Bryant's endorsement. But the endorsement that is most important to me is your vote tomorrow, your endorsement. Please tell all of your friends, your coworkers, your family, everyone you know. Send a text to everybody in your phone. Let them go vote tomorrow. Remind them to go vote tomorrow, because I will stand for your conservative values, and that is what's on the ballot tomorrow. I'm so honored to serve as your U.S. Senator, and I am asking all Mississippians to give me your vote tomorrow so I can continue serving your United States Senate to protect our conservative values. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you very much, Cindy. That was a great job. That was a great job, by the way. Cindy's far left opponent, he's far left. Oh, he's out there. How does he fit in with Mississippi? But I could go over this, but how does he fit in? Mike Espy opposed Justice Kavanaugh. Espy will vote in total lockstep with Schumer, Pelosi, the legendary Maxine Waters, and the special interest bankrolling his campaign. SB supported one of the largest tax increases in American history. You know that. He co-sponsored legislation that provides late-term abortion on demand. You know that. He backed a total government takeover of health care, and he even sponsored legislation to provide free taxpayer-funded health care to illegal aliens, which I'm sure you love paying for that. Mike Espy would rather protect illegal aliens than the people that live in Mississippi and Mississippi workers. It just can't work that way. You know, we want to be nice, and we all have a big heart, but it can't work that way because it doesn't work. No matter where you go in the world, that doesn't work. We don't need to give Schumer another vote to block our judges and abolish our borders and stall our wonderful nominees. We have great nominees. We have to get them through. Cindy will be with every single one of them. These are the top people, judicial people, and other people anywhere in this country, anywhere in the world as far as I'm concerned. Also at stake in tomorrow's election is your Medicare benefits. Democrats want to raid the Medicare to fund socialism. It's very simple what's going on. I do really want to run against a true socialist because I can't believe that's what this country wants. But let's see what happens. That's going to be a very interesting fight. Republicans want to protect Medicare for their great seniors who have earned it, and by the way, who have paid for it. You know that. And Republicans will always protect Americans with pre-existing conditions. Democrats will also destroy your health care by inviting millions upon millions of aliens to violate our borders. Once they arrive, they want to sign them up for free health care, free welfare, free education, and the right to vote. You know, talking about the fake media, I was doing that speech recently, and I said, and each one of them gets a free Rolls Royce. And so the media, one of the particular groups, you know, they said, he said they get a Rolls Royce, and they don't get a Rolls Royce. I said, okay, they don't get a Rolls Royce. They said he gets a Pinocchio for that. They said he gets, Phil, you hear that? I said Rolls Royce, and they said, no, he doesn't. They got me, Phil, they got me. Democrats have become the party of caravans and crime. True. Because when you have open borders, you have crime. When you have sanctuary cities, you have crime. Republicans are committed to halting this incursion and defending the sovereign territory of the United States of America. We're very proud of it. We will not tolerate any form of assault or attack upon our border agents like happened yesterday, or any attempt to destroy federal property, overrun federal authorities, or bring chaos and violence to American soil. And if you look at what's happening along the border, you see what's happening. The mayor of Tijuana, he said, these are tough people. These people fight when you talk to them. These are tough people. We don't want those people in Mississippi. I'm sorry. Of course, I know you'd win the fight, but who needs it, right? Who needs it? Who needs it? Last year alone, our brave Border Patrol and ICE agents seized nearly 1 million pounds of illegal narcotics, and they don't want to have ICE. Since I took the oath of office, ICE agents have arrested over 235,000 aliens with criminal records, including those charged or convicted of more than 100,000 assaults and nearly 4,000 killings. Think of that. 4,000 killings, and they want to abolish ICE. No, thank you. And by the way, the ICE folks, they're tough, and they're smart, and they're great, and they love our country. Just remember that. 1 in 5 federal prisoners is a non-citizen. You don't hear that ever. Illegal immigration is also deeply unfair to American workers, including African American workers. My administration will always protect Mississippi workers from unfair and illegal competition. A nation's first duty is to take care of its own citizens. After years of defending our borders, and you look at doing all of this We defend all sorts of borders. We defend our borders just a little bit, but now we defend our borders very strongly. We defend the borders of other nations, but we don't defend our borders properly. But that's all changed since we got elected. We've done a good job. We're sending a clear message to the caravans and to the trespassers. Turn around, go back home. Do you ever notice they say they're coming up? And they want protection because their country is such a bad place. But they're waving the flags of their countries as they're walking up. I don't know, somehow that doesn't work, right? Doesn't work. They're waving the flags proudly of their countries, but they want to get out of their country because it's so bad. Democrats even support the sanctuary cities that unleash known criminals and gang members onto our streets. Republicans believe America should be a sanctuary for law-abiding citizens, not criminal aliens. We want to end sanctuary cities. And we've actually started big sections of the wall, but we want to finish the wall. We got to get funding from Congress. And if this isn't the right time to get funding, when you look at what's happening at the border, there'll never be a right time. So we're going very strongly for funding for the wall. And Lindsey and everybody is just, I mean, your great congressman, by the way, is one of the leaders of that. Thank you very much, General. Thank you. Funding. Tomorrow's election is about safety and it's about jobs. The state of Mississippi lost over 40% of all manufacturing jobs following the disasters of NAFTA, one of the great disasters of all time in terms of trade, and China's entrance into the World Trade Organization. They were flatlining, and they joined the World Trade Organization, which was actually meant for them to take advantage of us. And they went like a rocket ship, and it became the China of today. But today, we're doing much better than China. Since they joined the WTO, we've racked up $4.5 trillion in trade deficits with China. That's for the years that they've joined. 4.5 trillion. Not billion, not million, trillion. You know what that is? Nobody even knows how many zeros in a trillion. So many, you don't have time to write them. Year after, that's all going to change. Year after year, politicians ran for office promising to fix our horrible trade deals. And I took it on. And that's right. When they charge us a tariff, we charge them a tariff now. Okay? And we're going to be introducing legislation on that very subject. When we charge them, you could call it a mirror tax, you could call it whatever. But isn't it crazy that China and other countries, China's the biggest, but other countries, we make a car, send it to China, there's a 25% tax. They make a car, send it to us, there's almost no tax, okay? Other than that, it's a very fair deal. Then they get elected, these politicians, and they do nothing other than let other countries continue to rip us off. And I don't blame other countries. I don't blame China. I don't blame Japan. I don't blame South Korea, who we protect, and we still lose a fortune on trade. I don't blame these other countries. I blame our past leadership for allowing these other countries to get away with it. So I'm not like other politicians. I can't even believe I'm calling myself a politician, but I guess that's what I am. Hey, look, I guess, am I a politician? I don't know. All I know is this. I ran one time, and I won. That's all. One time. One time. Thank you. Thank you. You know what the new slogan is? So it's Make America Great Again, right? New slogan is Keep America Great. But don't tell anybody, okay? We don't want somebody stealing that slogan. It'd be hard for somebody else. Actually, I guess I'd like the opponents to steal that slogan, right? Now we're replacing the horrible job-killing NAFTA with a brand-new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, which is a good deal for us, a really good deal. Countries, and you take a look at the countries that we're stealing. You look at what went on in Mexico, where our car manufacturers went down there, make 25% of our cars now in Mexico. All of that's not going to happen anymore. They're not going to be leaving our country. We're going to make it very difficult under this agreement, and that's fine. And I let it be known right at the beginning, we have to have that. The USMCA, like YMCA, the song, YMCA, YMCA. The USMCA is a tremendous victory for Mississippi farmers, we love our farmers, manufacturers, and auto workers. And by the way, speaking of farmers and small business owners, you know, in our tax cuts, we passed the largest tax cuts in history, and we have great provisions there, like Anwar, the great oil site in Alaska, right? They've been trying to get it for 40 years. But you know what's great for our farmers and small business? The estate tax, the death tax. If you love your children, you'd like to leave your estate, your farm, your small business, whatever it may be, you'd like to leave it to your children, right? Without being taxed, would have to go out and borrow to the hilt. Well, guess what? You have no more estate tax to pay. You have no more death tax to pay. Okay? You have no more death tax to pay. So if you like your children, it's great. If you don't like your children, don't leave it to them, and therefore the tax, don't even think about it. Didn't help you very much. Who here does not like their children? Anybody? I don't see one hand. There's nobody? Got to be somebody. Back there, see, in the very back corner, look. No, it's a great thing. That's something that we get that we don't talk about much, but that's a big thing. People leave their farms and other things to their children. Their children have to pay the taxes. The taxes are staggering. They go out and they borrow money and they're in debt, and a lot of times it didn't work out. You don't have tax to pay anymore. You have nothing to pay on those farms and small businesses. Under my administration, we've created 500,000 brand new manufacturing jobs. Remember, we weren't going to be able to create any because under the previous administration, they said manufacturing's never coming back. It's gone. You need a magic wand. Well, we found the magic wand, and that's actually going to be increasing by a lot in the next short while because we have a lot of companies moving in. We've also taken the toughest ever action against the abusive trade practices of many other countries. They were abusive. Nobody did anything about it. I mean, they either didn't have a clue or they didn't care. America is respected again. We are respected again. It's a whole different ballgame. We've taken bold action to reduce the cost of health insurance for the first time in years. Health care premiums are coming down. You just remember that. We've worked hard on that. Secretary Azar has done a fantastic job. And right here in Mississippi, we've opened up new affordable alternative plans that are up to 56% cheaper than the disaster known as Obamacare. And to help critically ill patients get life-saving treatments, we passed Right to Try. You know what that is? It's a terror. Hopefully nobody needs it. But people that are terminally ill, we have the greatest medicines, the greatest doctors in the world, and we have a pipeline, but it takes years to get approved. We've cut it in half. We're going to be cutting it again in half. But it used to take 15 years. Now it's way down, but it's still years. And they have some cures that really look good. I mean, they look like they're going to work out. If a patient is terminally ill, you're now going to be able to have access to those potential cures, which is great. There's that medicine. Previous to 4 months ago when I signed it, it was that you'd have people, if they had enough money, they'd go to all parts of the world. They were looking for hope all over the world. They go to Europe. They go to South America. They go to Asia. Now they sign a piece of paper. They immediately get taken care of. And by the way, Phil, we've had some incredible results already. So we've had some incredible results. We passed Veterans Choice for our veterans. 44 years they've been trying to pass it. So now it gives you the right to see your private doctor or a private doctor immediately. If you're standing in line for 10 days or 2 weeks or 6 weeks. You have no idea. The numbers are horrible. And now if you have to wait, you go out and you see a private doctor down the road, down the street, across the street, and you get taken care of immediately. No more waiting online for, numbers of days and weeks, that's hard to believe. People would stand in line and they're okay, not bad. And they have to wait so long, they'd be literally terminally ill by the time they got doctor's care. Now you go outside, you get a doctor, and we pay for it. And it's a great thing. Another is the landmark VA accountability law. Over 40 years they've been trying to get this, and we got it done. That's where people that abuse our great veterans in the hospitals, and there are people that are sickos, they do it. We look at them and we say, get out of here, you're fired, get out, and worse. We secured, through the help of Lindsey Graham and everybody, Roger, we secured $700 billion and $716 billion to fully rebuild our great United States military, and we gave our great warriors their largest pay raise in more than a decade. And in my direction, the Pentagon is now working to create the sixth branch of the American Armed Forces. It's called the Space Force. And today, we just landed on Mars. Did you hear that? We just landed. They were celebrating at NASA. We have reawakened NASA, and that's a good thing. And we're also letting rich private guys, I don't know, a lot of the rich guys like rockets. So we charge them rent. Go ahead, build all the rockets you want. That's good for us, right? Just make sure you have an American flag on the rocket. So I withdrew the United States from the horrible one-sided Iran nuclear catastrophe deal. And we have just recently recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Presidents for years, many, many decades have been saying they were going to do it. They never did it. And I understand why. It's not easy to do it, but we got it done. In fact, we just opened up the embassy, if you can believe that. It's probably about 20 years ahead of schedule. Together, we've made unbelievable progress, and we are just getting started. But we need every last Republican vote in the U.S. Senate. Only with a solid Senate GOP majority can we defend your tax cuts and defend your regulation cuts and your Second Amendment, which, by the way, is under siege, in case you haven't noticed. Protect your Medicare and Social Security, confirm your great judicial nominees, and save our courts with incredible pro-Constitution judges. We will fight every day to secure the border, to stop illegal immigration, to pass Kate's Law, end sanctuary cities, end chain migration, cancel the visa lottery, and keep the criminals and drug dealers and terrorists the hell out of our country. And we will lift millions more of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. For years you watched as your leaders apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America, who loves your country. We all love our country. We are standing up for your values. We are standing up for Mississippi, and we are proudly standing up for our great national anthem. So I am asking every citizen from every party, community, background, race, color, religion, and creed, for the honor of your support. I need you to get your family, get your friends, get your neighbors, get your coworkers, and get out tomorrow and vote for Cindy Hyde-Smith. Ours is the greatest political movement, can you believe this, where we started 3 years ago. In political, think of it, in political history, we've never had a movement like this. Look at this crowd today. I mean, in theory, this should be considered a little bit of an election. And here we are. I don't know how many thousands of people this is, but it's a lot of people. And we have a massive crowd. We're going over to Gulfport, and we have a massive crowd there. It's the same thing. This is a movement like this country has never seen before. This is a movement like almost no country has ever seen. And we have a lot of bad people. We have a lot of phony stuff, like the Russian witch hunt garbage. We have a lot of things going on. And there's never been a movement like this, because it's about the people. It's about what we're doing and what we've done. It's about delivering safety and opportunity for every family. It's about building a brighter future for every man, woman, and child all across our magnificent land. And it's about coming together as one proud American family. We stand on the shoulders of American patriots who built the highways, linked the railroads, dug out the Panama Canal, won 2 world wars, put satellites into space, landed on Mars today, and landed an American astronaut on the face of the moon. Our ancestors defeated fascism, vanquished communism, delivered millions into freedom, and built the greatest and most powerful military in the history of the world. And our military, very shortly, will be much more powerful than it ever was before. And because of that, hopefully, we'll never have to use it. We are Americans, and there's nothing beyond our reach. The heroes who came before us did not shed their blood, sweat, and tears so that we could sit at home while others try to erase their legacy and destroy our proud American heritage, a heritage like nobody has. For the sake of our freedom, for the sake of our children, we are going to work, we are going to fight, and we are going to win, win, win. We will not bend. We will not break. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down. We will never surrender. And we will always fight on to victory. We are one people and one nation with one glorious American destiny. We all share the same home. We all share the same heart. We all salute the same flag. And we are all made by the same Almighty God. So together, and I want to thank you so much. This is so beautiful. The spirit, the people, incredible place. With all of the people of Mississippi, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.